What if I told you the Mandalorian and Grogu movie is actually a stealth sequel to the Clone Wars? Would you get excited? Would you say, come on, Jimmy, you're reaching really hard here? Well, we're actually not. And it's starting to look more and more like that. Welcome to the channel, everybody. Jimmy or Chaos. Thank you for all the support on the videos, all the comments, and all the interactions. And the rumor floating around right now, and it's not as far-fetched as it sounds, is that Mando and Grogu is really connected to the Clone Wars. That's right. We've got all the leaks and rumors and confirmations for the upcoming movie, and we are going to go over absolutely everything. The insider leaks, the confirmed information, even some grounded fan theories that make a lot of sense. Now, we know we've got leaks about Jabba's son, the Hutts causing trouble, and even a possible far-fetched Jedi cameo. We're going to cover everything, guys, so drop a like, make sure you're subscribed, turn on those notifications, and let's jump right into it. The plot details and the setup. So the core of the movie seems to center around a rescue mission. That's your classic Star Wars setup, right? According to multiple sources, including Bespin Bulletin and Making Star Wars, the New Republic hires Mando to rescue none other than Rada the Hutt. That is Jabba's son, and that's from a rival Hutt faction. This actually lines up with the character's previous appearance in the Clone Wars, but now he's fully grown. Now, Mando is reportedly working under a New Republic officer named Colonel Bishop, played by Sigourney Weaver. There's even a leaked scene where Mando reports in to her after some kind of battle involving an AT-AT. Now, this suggests that there is more of a sanctioned operation going on here than just a personal bounty hunt. Probably bigger stakes than we've seen in the series so far. Now, Grogu is apparently stepping up as well. There's leaked footage showing him force-shoving a mouse droid like it's absolutely nothing. And this isn't going to be another side quest. We're talking a full New Republic involvement, and Grogu is no longer just tagging along. I mean, this is expected by most of the fan base to be a spot where Grogu starts to really grow into his powers. I mean, that's the setup for this. That's exactly what this platform is for. Now, everybody always wants to know about returning characters in Star Wars and cameos, and one of the most talked about returning characters is Zeb Aurelios from Rebels. And once again, these all connect to Clone Wars in one way or another. He was spotted in the leaked footage, and he was helping Mando in a ground battle, so we already see crossovers here. We're already seeing more crossovers with like Ahsoka and Rebel characters, which lines up with what Filoni has been building. Now, I mentioned Sigourney Weaver. She's playing a high-ranking Republic figure, possibly someone trying to keep the peace post-Empire. And then there's Johnny Coyne, who's reportedly reprising his role from Ahsoka as one of those shadowy Imperial warlords. Now, there's not a lot of detail here, but if the Empire's still lurking, which they always are, they might not be the main focus. Maybe just more fuel for the bigger story that Filoni is telling across all of these shows connected. And then, of course, we have Jeremy Allen White, who is playing the adult Rada. Now, no CGI slug this time. Apparently, he's been reimagined as a more physical, battle-scarred gladiator-type character. Yeah, Jabba's son might actually fight back this time, which is going to be kind of wild if you think about it. So, let's talk about the conflict, the villains, antagonists. Bounty Hunter Imbo is rumored to be the main one hunting him, and he's from the Clone Wars. And if leaks are accurate, he's being brought into live action and voiced again by none other than Dave Filoni. He's reportedly hired by the rival Hutts who want to erase Jabba's entire bloodline. So it's basically a political hit job in a rescue mission. Now, Rada himself is apparently a prisoner in some kind of gladiator pit. I don't know why I'm getting Thor Ragnarok vibes here, but I am. And yes, this is the same Kid Hutt from Clone Wars. Just all grown up, dropped into a mess of gang wars. You have bounty hunters, you have arena fights, and there's even talk that Mando and Grogu will have to go full-on infiltration mode to get him out. So I would say expect less Empire versus Rebels and more gritty underworld stuff. Something that fits Mando's skill set a lot more. Maybe even take the Andor vibe a little more here. Now, there's no word yet on Moff Gideon. There's no word on Thrawn, but you never know. I mean, this feels like a more self-contained movie, but still connected to the larger Imperial Remnant storyline, which I think Filoni, if he does that, that's the absolute way to go. Tell the story here. I mean, you can connect it to the bigger picture, of course, but don't make the bigger picture actually dictate the story you're trying to tell here. And we've heard from the beginning that Mando and Grogu is a buddy cop movie, and it kind of sounds like that. But now it's actually starting to get interesting, especially if they're going to tie things in like Ahsoka, the series, and Rebels, and of course, Clone Wars. To me, this all maps out like this is a Clone Wars sequel, which I know a lot of people, if it's done right, are going to be totally on board for. Now, we always like to cover the wild theories and speculation here on the channel, so here we go. This is some Reddit wish listing, but some of these are worth considering. Ones that picking up traction is the idea that Grogu's Force abilities may evolve during the movie. Now, this isn't far-fetched or ambitious at all, if you ask me. We're not talking Jedi training montages here, but subtle growth, like unlocking new powers when he's under pressure. That could explain the footage showing him taking down the tech and the droid solo, and I think that's what's going to happen here. By the time we get to the end of this movie, I feel like he is going to have leveled up. It would be a drastic miss if he hasn't, because eventually, this is our Yoda, right? Some fans also think this could quietly set up more Luke Skywalker involvement. Not a full cameo, maybe a mention, maybe even a shadow of his presence, I don't know, especially if the New Republic is leaning on former Jedi helping in the background. I mean, we've seen how Filoni likes to seed these moments and then pay them off down the line. Others think Ahsoka or Ren might show up briefly, especially if Zeb is already involved. That would tie this right back into the larger Mandoverse leading toward that Dave Filoni movie. Now, for me, I think you could see both. It would be easy to get Luke Skywalker somehow mentioned in here, even a quick CGI cameo, which they've already proved they can do. That would tie this right back into the larger Mandoverse leading toward that Dave Filoni movie. And I think it's a no-brainer that Ahsoka shows up. I really don't see how that doesn't happen. That is just an instant connection into the larger kind of picture that's going on. So let's back up here and let's recap. The plot centering around Mando and Grogu rescuing a grown-up Hutt. The New Republic is involved, we know that, with Sigourney Weaver playing a commanding officer, which I think is a really, really good casting. Then we have Zeb from Rebels confirmed back and helping out. Now, little baby Hutt isn't just bait, he's actually a gladiator, armed and dangerous this time, which is going to be interesting to see how that goes down. And the lead villain is rumored to be Imbo, and no talk of Sith or anything like that in this one. And the Empire may be taking a back seat in this one. There's hints at broader connections to Ahsoka, Rebels, and of course Clone Wars, and I don't think those hints are really hints anymore. I think it's a reality, and that's where we're going with this. And Grogu should be getting a bit of power boosting along the way in this movie. Now, there's no fluff, no filler. The movie is looking very tight. It looks more focused as a story in the Star Wars universe, but it's also planting seeds for what's coming next, which I think Filoni's really good at. If this really is a bridge into Filoni's movie in the post-Empire era, I think it's worth watching how these character threads actually evolve. So you guys, let me know what you think. Is this the kind of Mando story you wanted? Is this what you were expecting when we got the announcement? Or do you think they're leaning too far into Clone Wars territory? I mean, either way, there's a lot to keep an eye on when we get closer to May 2026, and I will keep you guys updated if we get anything new. I truly, truly appreciate each and every one of you. Yes, I read every single comment on every single video. If I heart your comment, that means I read it and I liked it. But if I didn't heart it, it was probably mean, but I still read it. I'll see you soon.